Let's talk about a car born to be loud, irrational, and, just incredibly fast. It was never ever meant to be a safe bet. And yet, the Pagani Zonda has somehow become one of the most unlikely financial titans of the last couple of decades. Forget about stocks, forget real estate. We are talking about returns of up to 600%. To give you an idea, one particular model, a Zonda 760 LM Roadster, it sold for over 10 million euros. That's more than 6 times what it originally cost. I mean, this isn't just a car's value going up. This is straight up fine art territory, just on 4 wheels. So you have to ask, right? How did a machine built for pure unfiltered speed turn into a blue chip asset that actually outperforms traditional markets? Well, the answer is this incredible story of art, of science, and of some masterful scarcity. Okay, so the numbers behind the Zonda's rise, they're just staggering. And to really get your head around its value, we have to stop thinking of it as just a car and start seeing it for what it's really become. Automotive investment analysts say that certain Zonda models have seen their value go up by 15 to 20% every single year. To put that into perspective, that's consistently beating gold, luxury property, and even the S&P 500. But here's the real kicker. Unlike stocks, the Zonda's value is anchored in something you can actually touch, its own powerful, legendary story. To really understand why the Zonda is so valuable, you have to understand the man behind it, Horacio Pagani. His whole philosophy, which was inspired by Leonardo da Vinci, is basically the car's soul. Now, this isn't just some catchy marketing slogan for a brochure. This is the core belief that drives the entire company. Pagani was so inspired by how Da Vinci could fuse technical genius with just breathtaking beauty, and he thought, why can't a machine also be a masterpiece? And that's exactly why Pagani calls itself a creative atelier, not a factory. They're not just assembling cars, they're crafting these bespoke objects, where every single piece, down to the bolts, is a perfect blend of form and function. So where did this incredible vision even come from? Well, it didn't come from some established giant. Nope. It came from an outsider, a former Lamborghini engineer who had the guts to challenge the titans of the supercar world. So before he started his own company, Horacio Pagani was this master of composite materials. When he launched the Zonda C12 back in '99, the old guard just kind of scoffed at him. But by 2002, when the much more powerful S7.3 showed up, nobody was laughing anymore. And by 2005, with the Zonda F, a tribute to his friend, the legendary driver Juan Manuel Fangio, Pagani had absolutely arrived. And this is where the legend really kicks into high gear. The Zonda was so beloved that Pagani basically couldn't stop building it. Each new version was supposedly the last one, but then customers would demand more, and it created this kind of never-ending finale of unique, one-off special editions. Look at the progression. The C12 started it all with about 400 horsepower. Just a few years later, you get the Zonda F, pushing almost 600 horsepower, with huge upgrades to the chassis. And then came the Cinque, which means 5 in Italian, limited to just 10 cars in total, and featuring this revolutionary carbon titanium chassis. Yeah, you heard that right. A material literally woven from carbon fiber and titanium, making it impossibly light and ridiculously strong. So this incredible evolution and this extreme rarity created a really fascinating problem, a paradox that turned a driver's ultimate dream into an investor's big dilemma. So here's the massive conflict for any Zonda owner. On one hand, you have this incredible machine with a roaring AMG V12 built for a raw, visceral driving experience. The sound, the feedback, that pure mechanical connection. But on the other hand, you've got an asset that's so valuable that every mile you put on it feels like you're scribbling on a masterpiece. And I am not exaggerating here. Many Zondas, some of them over 20 years old now, have less than 1,000 kilometers on the odometer. They're not really cars anymore. They're sculptures, living in climate-controlled vaults. But what's truly mind-blowing is what these cars are actually capable of. The original test car, which they called La Nonna, that's the grandmother, has clocked over 1 million kilometers. 1 million! Proving that these cars have a robustness that most owners will just never, ever experience. So when you boil it all down, what's the Zonda's ultimate legacy? Well, in a world that's all about electric power and digital screens, the Zonda is like a monument to a lost era of analog perfection. Think about it. In an age of silent EVs and complex computers that drive for you, the Zonda is a throwback.
It's a naturally aspirated V12 engine, a manual or sequential gearbox, and a direct, unfiltered connection between the driver, the machine, and the road. It really is an icon of analog perfection.
And that kind of leaves us with this one final big question. The Zonda was born from a pure passion for performance, but its greatest trick wasn't how fast it could go around a track. It was its amazing ability to defy financial gravity, and it poses a question for every future classic: what truly defines its ultimate value?